name is Carson. Welcome back to Royalty Soaps. This video is a little late. I may or may not have forgotten to edit it, but that essentially means you get 3 videos this week, so are we really complaining? I know y'all are gonna see the title of the video and go, "Great, Katie, so glad you jumped onto that retail bandwagon, putting up your Christmas tree in October and whatever." But I have an excuse, because soap makers are dealing with a cure time, and those retail people are not. Cure time, essentially the amount of time your soap has to sit out and harden before it's being packaged. I've mentioned in other videos that I have to work months ahead of time. When you see a soap video that is very close to the release day, so maybe the soap video is released on Saturday and then the release is on Monday, I'm not actually making that soap 2 days before. It wouldn't be hard enough, it wouldn't be fully cured. So I'm filming all of my videos way in advance, and therefore a lot of the Christmas soap videos are going to be uploaded in November because the release is December 3rd. Hopefully this just helps you guys get in the festive spirit a little early. I did try to pick the ones that I'm releasing this month to be a little more wintertime and a little less like Christmas specific. Well, I think that explains about everything. So without further ado, let's make some soap. We begin today by pouring our lye water solution into our oils. The pitcher that I'm using is a stainless steel pitcher that I got from Amazon. And now we're gonna blend on high until just past emulsification. We're going to have 2 accent colors in today's soap. The first accent color is Snake Island Green from Mad Micas. And we're gonna mix that with a little bit of Green Vibrance Mica from Nurture Soap. The second color is Antique Silver. This is from Nurture Soap as well. I've been dying to use this colorant. And we're mixing that with Silver Mist Mica, also from Nurture Soap. And then for the large container, we're adding in titanium dioxide. So let's blend up the colors. Oh, those are so gorgeous. So, the fragrance oil we're using today is Frosted Pine Cones from Nature's Garden. I'm gonna take a whiff of it just to remind myself. It's so good. So like the top note is definitely pine, but then it also has a slightly effervescent note in there as well. Sort of like, you know, some Sprite or carbonated beverage. I don't know why, but it works so well. I'm gonna begin blending this in by hand. Fragrance oils always look so daunting when you first put them in. It's like, oh my gosh, is this gonna turn my soap like the nastiest shade ever? Fragrance oil is blended in, so it's time to start pouring into our 2 brambleberry molds. I'm actually gonna start today by pouring in a little bit of gray on the bottom, just one little stripe. And then I'm gonna pour in a goodly amount of the white. Hopefully that gets us started with a nice swirl. Man, this fragrance oil is performing beautifully. So now we're gonna go in with the green and we're gonna do the gray again, and we're gonna just keep repeating this. And I am pouring slightly less than I normally do just to make the drop swirl a little more prominent. It's gonna have a lot more bubbles in it if we do it that way. Woo, that took a while, but everything looks super nice. I can't wait to see how that drop swirl turned out. It was pretty runny, so I had a lot of time to work with it. So now let's mix up the soap frosting. Using the large round tip and the Royalty Soaps piping tip, we're going to put some frosted peaks on these bars. I want it to look like snow-covered mountains. I've made a rendition of this soap before, and you can find it in the archives of the Royalty Soaps video collection. But this year my inspiration was the Rick Steves European Christmas, where he goes up, I believe it's into the Swiss Alps. It's either in Switzerland or in Norway. And he goes up the mountain and then they get to slide down on these little sleds. And the sleds themselves are so unique. There's one that even kind of looks like a scooter that you sit on like a bike and then you just like whiz down the mountain. It was so cool. It's made such an impression on me. So watching Rick Steves' European Christmas is a family tradition now because it airs on the public television, which is, you know, PBS or KERA. They're one and the same where I live, but I can't remember which one's local. I think it's KERA is local, but PBS is the one that's like nationwide. They also air the Mormon Tabernacle Choir and whatever beautiful Christmassy thing they've done that year. I remember one year the Mormon Tabernacle Choir did a Charles Dickens themed event and they made him fly with the ghost of Christmas Present, I think, like across the entire audience. Like he was on strings and he and the big jolly ghost were like, ooh, here we go to your, you know, city and whatever. And I just thought that is the biggest, I cannot believe a church is putting this on. Now that all the piping is done, I can add some snowflake sparkle glitter. And I'm going to put this on until like you can barely see the soap or till the cows come home. For the top of the soap, the embeds, can you just get a look at these Christmas trees? These are made using a mold from Vanillate and I could not be more obsessed with them. They're so cute. But placing them in, I think is gonna be kind of a challenge because they're so flippin' huge. So basically, I'm trying to shove them in the first bit of piping and that second bit so that it's not sticking up too high. It's hard to be precise about this, but I know if I take my time, it'll pay off. I put Kenny in charge of mixing the green for these because he's so good at mixing colors. And I mean, he could not have done a more perfect job. I'm gonna move that one out of the way so that I can focus on this soap. This reminds me of like miniature doll houses and the miniature Christmas villages that people put up in their house. I never actually knew anybody that had one of those, but it seemed like there were some friends of mine who had grandmothers and they were like, oh yeah, she gets a new little home every year for her Christmas village, and then she'd like set up a train in the dining room. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. Caleb, did you know anyone who had a Christmas village like that?
My grandma had a Christmas village like that.
Did she really?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Now that all the Christmas trees are in, I'm gonna take some large hollow bio glitter and I'm just gonna put that on the trees just to make them sparkle a little bit. Not on the whole soap, mind, just the trees. Oh my gosh, it looks like it has little tiny ornaments on it when I do this. Now I'm gonna seal everything in with a spritz of rubbing alcohol. Oh my gosh, the trees, they're just so cute. And that's it, we're done with mountain carols. This is what it looks like up close. Look at those little Christmas trees all adorned with hollow glitter. The way it should be. I love the frosted snow peaks as well. So I'm gonna let these bars sit for 18 to 24 hours and then I will come back and I will chop them all up and we'll take a peek at the inside. You guys, look at the bottom of the soap where I poured that gray. Yee! We are back the next day, obviously, to cut the soap. So I'm gonna line it up here. That looks about right. I'm gonna press down. We're going to pull one out of the middle. And this is what it looks like on the inside. You can see it's really drippy, and that green color is just fan-freaking-tastic. Then on the top, everything is sparkly, and of course, we have the Christmas tree with all the hollow glitter. I'm liking the remake so much more than the original. Not that there was anything wrong with the original, but you know, you are supposed to get better as you go along, and I think the original was made almost 3 years ago. This just always looks like artwork to me. I'm also really glad that the gray is sitting on the bottom, sort of around the edges of the soap there. I think that looks cool. The question of the day is, do you and your family buy a fresh Christmas tree, like from a Christmas tree farm, or do you just have a plastic one with like built-in lights that you plug in? We have always had a plastic one because there are too many people in my family with allergies, but also because my mom heard that they can attract roaches, and it was just a big fat nope ever since then. I don't know, one year maybe I'll just branch out and be festive and take a risk and get a live Christmas tree. To vote in the question of the day, you can click the I in the upper right hand corner of the screen. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I love the green on the inside. I'm gonna have to mix up those two colors in the future because it's just... And by the way, my mom and I went this past Saturday and we picked up her present, and if you haven't seen it, it's so adorable. I saved it in my family highlights on my personal Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams, one for royalty soaps and all my soapy creations, and then one for all of my family stuff and pictures of Lily and things of that nature. So you should definitely go check that out. Her reaction is priceless. She literally cried. I don't know how I'm ever going to top this present. Well, it's time for me to work out my monthly workout. So I'm gonna bid you guys adieu. Be sure you do something for yourself today, whether that is working out even though you hate it, but you know it's good for you, or buying some frilly greenery to make your house a little more festive from the Joanna Gaines collection at Target. Either way, do something that makes you happy, and I'll see you guys Wednesday. Bye for now. Meow.